Hey everyone, welcome to a How to Be a Poser Versus edition. Today we're going to be doubling down on some mutant mayhem with the Gambit and Wolverine Sixth Scale figures by Sideshow. Let's get started. All right, here they are, still in their boxes exactly the way that they're going to come to you. In this corner, the old knucklehead himself, Wolverine, comes with a couple different pairs of swap-out seamless arms, as well as a pair of hands with extended claws. And in this corner, the Ragin' Cajun, Remy LeBeau himself, Gambit, comes with so many different swap-out hands, both kinetic energy and non-kinetic energy, as well as these kinetic effects and a series of playing cards. Can't wait to see what I can do with all these cool things, so let's get rolling. All right, let's start with Gambit. Yeah, first time getting hands on this figure, so it's got a coat. There's no wires in it, but I think we can probably make that work. Wow, that's some interior detail going on right there. You gotta love that. First of all, I want to swap out this head, or this hair rather, because I kind of prefer long-haired Gambit. There we go. Yeah, that's more my Gambit. So what I want to do is I want to have these guys going toe to toe. Now we're going to do some more poses later on in which they actually are doing a team up sort of a pose. But we just want to do different things with them interacting. And in this first pose, I kind of want it to be in a versus scenario. So I'm going to have Gambit hurling some cards at Wolverine. And for that, I'm going to need this piece right here. I'm also going to need, I think that's it. Yeah, this is the hand that I'll need. I'm going to go with the kinetic energy hand because I just think they look great. And of course, I'm going to want his staff, which means I'm also going to need this hand. Yeah, the staff wielding hand. All right, so as always, let's go ahead and start with popping off the hands that we're not going to use and replacing them with the hands we are going to use. Get that. That is like the perfect amount of tension. Just nice and snug so you know it's not going to fall out. And there. All right, so let's check for torso twist because this is a hard piece. And yeah, we've got good torso twist at the bottom part of the torso, so that's gonna work just fine. Let's go ahead and kick this stand back out of the way because I just want to get this guy on the table and just see what he's capable of. I want an asymmetrical wide stance, so that means I'm gonna move this leg out and it's ratcheted, so I'm gonna go 1, 2 clicks, and then we'll bend this leg and this leg, bend both legs. Get that torso down. So yeah. Twist those feet because we don't want the feet to be perfectly parallel to each other. Just kind of get a firm stance with those feet. And see how that just kind of stands on its own. That's always a good sign. I'm gonna have him hurling these cards as if he brought this hand down from his side, like he's, like underhand stuff. LeBeau is very underhanded. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he is. Let's go ahead and see if I can get him a little bit more upright, but then I want to do a torso twist this way. Let's see, this neck is on a double joint, which is badass. And let's go ahead and get that hand up. Now, I don't know yet exactly how. Let's get that arm back. Let's bring that leg back in just a little bit and bend it. There we go. That's cool. Head up so it doesn't look like he's looking down. We don't need that. All right, so I'm just gonna hold this up to this camera here because you can see that there are 2 holes in there, and that's for these 2 fingers. So let me just see if I can line these up. There we go. Yeah, that's looking kind of cool. It's looking really cool, actually. Dig that. All right. Now that I kind of got that going, I'm just going to kind of play with this coat a little bit and see if I can just get it to, yeah, there we go. Get a little bit of direction with it. Play with that strap just to soften it up. It's kind of a stiff material, but it will soften with use. So this might qualify as prep work before the actual posing begins. The cool thing is if you can get this to fold over, then you can expose that really gorgeous pattern on the inside. And like, I don't know, maybe use the hand. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just use that hand So we'll do that eventually, but let's go ahead and put the staff in there. That might help with it. Yeah. There we go. So that's cool. Now I'm gonna want him on his base. So I'm gonna go ahead and lift this leg up just a little bit more and bend it to compensate. And then let's bring in that base. Yeah, that looks good. And just grip about mid-thigh. See that? I wanted that staff to be at about mid-level. So that's Gambit pretty much done. The last touch that you want to do is you want to add the cards. So I'm going to go ahead and get that Ace of Spades in there. I like to vary the colors. I want black, red, black. I don't want black, red, red. I just think it looks better. And let's see, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. So I'm going to call Gambit done. All right, so here's Wolverine. So at this point, when you're posing two figures together, interacting, you need to consider a couple of different things. One, where is this going to be on the shelf? Now, if you were going to be displaying Gambit like this on a shelf alone, then this would be the angle that you're seeing in the camera right now. You would want the viewer to see the front of the figure like this. It would be interacting with the viewer. But because the plan is to put Wolverine with him and have them interacting, then you have to recognize that you're going to be on a shelf and you're going to see the profile of Gambit as the viewer, as the person in the room admiring the figure. So you have to have Wolverine doing something similar but opposite, almost like a mirror image sort of a thing. So you don't want to pose Wolverine basically in a way that when you have him interacting with Gambit, you're looking at Wolverine from behind. Now I want to have him kind of like he's ducking, like he sees Gambit's cards coming at him and he's going to duck out the way at the same time coming at him with his claws. Now before anybody says, what are Gambit and Wolverine doing fighting each other? Well, I mean, I would ask, have you ever read a comic book? Because some of the best stories involve superheroes doing battle with each other. And that's kind of, like who would win in a fight? that kind of question. That's a common question in geekdom. It's very, very much a favorite topic of discussion of mine. You can see how these things just have keys and keyholes and they just slide in. It's a really solid and time-honored way of giving yourself some seamless arms without having to go with that softer material. Seamless sculpted arms, I love that. All right, so let's have that hold still. We're gonna pop these fists off because I'm gonna use those. And I'm gonna need these gauntlet portions of the Van braces to come back on. Let's do that. Now, this is a really cool way of doing this. Sideshow's got these things keyed in so that you can pop them off, they're magnetized, and then you just simply replace them with the popped claws. And that way you don't have to worry about having to separate each individual claw. There we go. And repeat the process with this hand. I'm gonna have Wolvie stepping forward with this foot. Quite deep. And let's get this arm way out there. And twist this, torso twist, torso twisting. And let's have him looking like really hard right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's wicked cool. Let's turn that foot just a little bit. Again, just want to get a nice solid stance to start with, if you can. Right? Yeah, and there it is. Awesome. Now let's see how we can make this work with the stand. Now if you can get a solid foundation like this, then there's no reason why you can't just leave it like that. My house, when you walk through really fast, things kind of tend to shake. I always like to use a stand because I don't like to be afraid that eventually I'm gonna walk by and a figure's gonna fall over. Nobody likes to hear that sound. And if you've not heard that sound before, then good for you, but I've heard it way too many times. All right, let's go ahead and stand him up just a little bit because that groin grabber's not quite gripping him there. I think I want to lean him in a little bit. It looked like he was just a little bit up too far. So let's go ahead and work that torso and the leg to compensate. If I have it leaning forward here, yeah, that's it. You double him over at the waist and that achieves it. So let's get you guys to see what this looks like from the viewer's perspective, or from Gambit's perspective in this case. And then let's go ahead and bring LeBeau back in. Make sure that they are actually interacting. Bonus points if you can actually get it so that it does look like Gambit's cards are going to miss, like Wolverine's stepping out of the way and it's actually working. Let's get this up a little bit more, I think. Yeah, there we go. Again, we don't want any parallel lines. You don't want to keep that arm parallel to the ground. That's just no fun. And there it is, Gambit versus Wolverine. Posing two figures interacting with each other profoundly raises the bar on any figure display. It's not enough just to hit a pose with each figure and then turn them to face each other. The poses need to tell a story of action and response. Combat is a dance, and if you treat it accordingly, you can make magic happen.
Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.